In today's podcast, I sit down with Alek Carrera with Compass out of Los Angeles, but he's not from Los Angeles. He's from Mexico City. He's an international real estate agent and learn how he got into the real estate industry and what his specialties are and what exciting areas he's selling real estate in. You're going to like this one. Thank you for joining on the podcast. And I know you're in LA right now. Wish you were here in Cabo.
I know, me too. We miss the sunny days here in LA lately. But so, here we are.
You're originally not from Los Angeles, though.
No, originally from Mexico City, although I lived longer in Los Angeles than Mexico. So I'm an Angelino/Mexico Cityan, or Chilango, like we are known as.
So why did you move to Los Angeles?
I moved to LA almost 24 years ago. I was in the entertainment industry as well as hospitality. So LA was obviously a perfect fit. And later on, I decided that this was the place to be, even though I still go to Mexico probably once a month now.
In entertainment, what kind of entertainment? Acting or
acting, screenwriting, producing, voiceovers. Basically all in front of the camera and behind the scenes, back in the 2000s, early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Anything notable that I would know?
Well, I did basically every voiceover commercial for cars that you can imagine, every brand as well for cars on TV, a few episodics or series, guest stars like CSI Miami, some other movies like independent films, and a couple ones that got big releases.
And so you were acting, but also behind the camera.
Yes. At the end, well, not at the end. Like once you're involved in acting, you really start focusing on other aspects of the business. Screenwriting is great because you could get a chance to be part of the film, give your input, invite your colleagues, your friends to your projects, and they invite you to yours. And basically that's how Hollywood works. Now with all the new platforms, the Netflixes and HBOs, etc., it's a lot easier, I think, because the opportunities are way more. But when you understand that the business, in reality is shared between a very few, it's like a collaboration, like we do in our industry in real estate. You have to collaborate in order to grow. So that's when I started getting involved in the behind the scenes part. I won the Beverly Hills Screenwriting Festival for a script called Why We Live. This was back in 2004-5, around there. That's a project that's being is going to be developed and turned into a film. I would say in the next couple of years. So working slowly on that one, but it's something we saved and cherish a lot because it's a great project.
What's the plot of that?
Why We Live is like a drama. It's a drama film about two brothers that meet in juvenile hall. Well, they're not brothers, but they become brothers, completely different backgrounds. And it's about the decisions and choices you make in life, how they, it's in a parallel, they started the same way, but they end up in completely different situations once they're released. And it's about friendship, and it's about life lessons. It's heavy duty. It's a heavy drama, but I think it has a great message at the end.
So you wrote that?
I wrote that, yeah.
And so how does that work? When you write the screenplay, it's going to be made into a film. Is this like a big time budget film? Or
no. I mean, not to compare it, but if you look at some of Alejandro González Iñárritu's films, like 21 Grams, Amores Perros, those are not big budget films, but the acting is so good, and the screenwriting and the stories and how the stories come back together. That's type of like the style of this film. I don't think it would work out as a series, maybe a mini series, on TV, but it's designed to be like a film, like a drama film.
So you do that, and then how do you get into real estate?
I started my career in entertainment in Los Angeles, as some of you may know or not, all paths and in real estate. Well, basically everywhere in the world, and every industry, no matter what it is, medical, commercial, you name it, sports, everything will end up in real estate one way or another. So for me, it was just a smooth transition. If we add the luxury element to the formula, my family background comes from jewelry and fine jewelry and watches. From my grandfather, he had factories exporting jewelry all over the world back in the 70s and the 80s, and then my father followed. So the luxury part of the business and brands have always been present. So it just made sense to connect the whole like industries, the luxury industry, the hospitality industry, the entertainment industry, and then real estate. I had a good friend that I was working with early in my career, and I was referring a lot of deals to him. So he encouraged me to get a real estate license here in California. I did, even though I started my career on a lighter side of the real estate world with my father, which was in finance early on before moving to LA, and then it just happened organically, and I think it was a great decision because now it's just everywhere, and the way we can work globally, which we'll talk about. I think that's really the bread and butter of what I do.
What did you learn in the film industry that has been applied into your real estate career?
Well, discipline, have a tough skin, find a way when there's no way. If you want something, the entertainment industry is a very, very difficult industry, and there's lots of ups and downs, and one day you're relevant, the next day you're not. So if you can navigate through that and don't take things so personal and serious, you can apply that towards basically any business. And real estate is a business of communication and being face to face with clients. We're doing this over Zoom, but nothing will substitute a face-to-face encounter and give that trust to your clients. So I would say one of the biggest takeouts is communication and listening. That's very important.
You mentioned relevance. You can be relevant one day in the film industry and the next day not. How do you stay relevant in the real estate industry?
You have to reinvent yourself. You have to be able to set yourself apart and have your niche market and your niche style. There's no cookie cutter way to succeed in this business. And it's an industry that's so competitive, I think more than ever before now, that if you don't have your own niche and your own brand, it's going to be really hard to set yourself apart from the rest.
So what is your niche? Are you door knocking?
I door knock in a different way. I door knock making phone calls, not necessarily cold calls, but I connect the dots. At some point in my career, I did door knock, and there's people that are extremely successful by doing that. My style is a little bit more personable. My style, my business, my group's business, is 90% repeat clients and referrals.
Yeah. But yeah. And you talked about the international side of things. That's really your niche, is dealing in international real estate. Give me an example, and everyone, our viewers, an example of what kind of international exposure you and your group have.
Yes, so we have a very good, strong footprint in Mexico, in the country. We operate in all the major cities. We have a base in Mexico City, another one in the Nayarit Peninsula or Riviera, which is Punta Mita, Puerto Vallarta, Nuevo Vallarta, etc. On the south, on the Caribbean side, of course, Riviera Maya, Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Bacalar. We have some deals happening in Cabo, but that's where you will become a big part of this equation, Nick, because that's really your forte, and that territory has so much potential. So that would be Mexico. Mexico City, of course, right now has become once again a top 5 destination in the world. Mexico City was named this year one of the top cities to travel by Travel and Leisure, I think. So I invite everybody that, or your guests and your listeners to pay attention to Mexico City. There's a lot to learn and so much potential and beauty in that city. So I invite you to visit. And then in Central America, we work in Panama as well, Panama City. Panama City has it's a very interesting country, and the economy there, it's always par to the dollar. It's 1-on-1 to the dollar, their currency. The amount of development in the city, in the country in general, it's incredible what they're doing. And the biggest asset they have, of course, the canal, which now Mexico has their own version in the Istmo de Tehuantepec. I don't know if you heard of that, but Panama, and then we are starting operations. I would say in the next month in Uruguay. So that will be our point of contact for all South America, to cover Brazil, to cover Argentina, and of course Uruguay, being such a strong economy in South America. It would just it just made sense for us to start operating this.
And you also are in Europe too.
Europe. We focus on Western Europe. We have team members and partners on all the major cities in Europe. From, of course, heavily invested in Spain, in Portugal, and the UK. But we have access to basically any major city over there, and that's really where our services become a white glove international representation for buyers, for sellers, for investors. When COVID happened, that was really, the pandemic is really what changed a lot of our business models. We work heavily in relocation, and not just individuals, but corporations as well. So during COVID, we found that was a very important niche and an area that was not covered the way we do it. So our clients were really, really thankful that we were able to help them, and still able to help them with global relocations.
What about the Middle East? Are you doing
Middle
any
East? Yeah, in Middle East, we do some business in Dubai. Mm-hmm. We have 2 of our business partners are basically the biggest agents in Dubai at the moment. Dubai is a very interesting place just because there's so much going on permanently. Had a little bit of a dip in the last 2 years, but I would see that the last 12 months is again on the radar. You have great markets coming to Dubai from Europe, from Eastern Europe especially, and then you have the Asian regions as well.
Not many agents deal on an international basis to the scale that you do. Having opportunities in Europe, Middle East, North America, South America, Central America. Mm-hmm. What do you see on a global basis in relation to the real estate industry? What are some trends?
Yeah. I think, international, it's not like it's something new, but with the political situation around the world, with, anywhere from wars or political instability, mm-hmm. People need to move. People need to look forward to other avenues for investment, to have an option B, C, D. So it's so important to be able to offer that to a client and give that trust that, we navigate economies. I like to call it like that. Our services help you navigate economies, because if in California things are not going great right now, and in Florida they are, maybe in Israel they're not going great for obvious reasons, people still need to move, to move resources, to find different areas of investment, different locations. And that's what we do. We facilitate that. We take away a lot of the headache of where to start. So our services are way beyond just real estate. We create that map for our clients to look at ABC.
It's interesting because obviously, most of our clients are coming from the US and Canada. So we're international in the sense of helping them buy a second home in in the Baja. So, but what you do is so interesting. And just until recently, I've realized the value of what we do and being able to apply it to other areas for our clients. Because a lot of our clients don't own just one or two houses, they own several homes or properties internationally.
Correct.
And even if it's not international, if it's in the same country but different state or different city, our knowledge is transferable to a lot of different markets, at least the high level and mid level kind of questions, and kind of sifting through the noise and figuring out what are the important things to find out, right? And
Correct.
that's something I know in my business that I'm starting to realize and apply to clients that buy and sell properties outside of the Baja.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. When you can help your clients, sell their homes, maybe in New York, maybe in Switzerland, maybe in Mexico City, just because they want to take the next step or they don't know who to contact. When you can offer that, and listen, I don't say that I'm an expert on every country in the world or know every rule in every city, but what I can offer, or we can offer, is put you in touch with the best of the best all over the world. People that we work with in the past, people that we trust, people that we can handle our clients to, and we know they're going to be taken care of. That's, I think, so important, so crucial. So that's really what we do.
Yeah, I think it's our network becomes extremely valuable. So we have vetted people, and even if they're not in our network, we know what kind of questions and things to ask on behalf of our clients.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And be able to also like maintain that confidentiality. A lot of our clients don't want everybody to know that they're selling their homes or that they're relocating. Some relocate for security reasons. So I think that's like a very, very delicate and very important aspect of the transaction, being able to give you trust. Yes, exactly.
So where is Alek Carrera in 10 years from now? Because you're still very young. And are you still going to be living stateside, or do you see an international living plan?
Ideally, I mean, my wife and I, we would like to have like different points throughout the world that we can spend certain amount of time on each. Really, you don't need to be in an office, and I think people are big on go back to the office. It's important post-COVID, but at the end of the day, our business, Nick, and you know this very well, our business is not inside of an office in front of a computer. Our business is to be with people, like exactly like you do, all the time, at events, socializing, networking. So I see myself splitting my time with my family around the world and really loving, I love traveling and my family, all over the world and good food. So when you can put both together, all of those aspects together, you're really enjoying what you do. And that's how I see myself in a few years.
Alek, I appreciate that. No, and I think you have, you're on the right track. I mean, what you're doing and have been doing, this is the future of real estate, is getting outside of just one area and expanding the geography and your experience and your network. And so I'm thankful that we were able to connect a little over a month ago. And I don't think we're going to see each other in May at that Realm event, but we might.
We might
go? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic.
We're working with that schedule in May, so we're going to do our best to be present there.
Okay, well, and we're hopefully working on a few deals here in the Baja. And for everyone else, if you want an international real estate agent, Alek Carrera is someone to definitely keep on your radar.
Happy to help all of you, and our team is ready to facilitate whatever your needs are.
And I look forward to that screenplay coming to reality on the big screen.
Oh, that's good. That's good, Nick. You're getting here some of the first news about that in a long time. So,
all right, cool. All right, Alek. Well, thanks for being a guest, and
Thank you, Nick.
I'll talk to you soon.
Likewise, take care.
All right, everyone. Until the next one, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ronaval Real Estate and follow Nick on Instagram at NickFong_Ronaval. Ready to find your Baja dream home? Check out the latest property listings at ronaval.com or findmexicohouses.com. Hasta luego.